Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Marketing Guides for Small Business podcast. And today we're going to talk about video marketing, what it is, why you need to do it for your business. And I'm Paul, and joining me today is Ian. Ken can't be with us, so let's jump in. Ian, you want to start with the first question?
Sure. So, Paul, what are five important types of marketing videos that a small business needs?
Well, that probably might vary depending on the industry, the target audience, business goals, things like that. But there's five important types of videos that a business should have, and so I'll just kind of run through them real quick. A brand or like a brand video introduction, company overview video that it introduces your business to customers. It highlights your mission and values, your unique selling proposition, and it kind of sets the tone of what your business is, how you operate, differentiates you from your competitors. And this is usually put on the homepage of your website, maybe on the About Us page. And if you have a YouTube channel, which you should, I think we've talked about that in the past, you want to put it there. You can put it on like Vimeo if you want. Just make sure that it's not marked private. That would kind of defeat the purpose. I've seen that happen. So just something to be aware of. And then you have product or service videos. A lot of you see these on YouTube where they have the unboxing videos. Now that's user generated content. That's generally not the business itself doing that. But if you see that, you might want to put that on your website, especially if it's a positive video. But it showcases your product, how it works, or if you're a service area business, how you go about doing things. Like if you're a roofing company, you can have a video about a roof inspection and how you go about that and how you determine what the issues are, if any. And the content, it demonstrates the main features and benefits and uses of your product or service. It can be a straightforward tutorial. And again, these are going to go on product pages or service pages. If you have an e-commerce website, obviously you'd have the videos for the products on the appropriate pages. And you want to share these across your social media platforms. And then you have customer testimonials and review videos. And this is where you're going to have to be somewhat involved in this. You actually get, instead of having someone write a review on Google or whatever, you actually get them to do a review video of your product or service and their experience with you. And those are really good for building trust and credibility, because there's something more powerful about a video, someone doing a video, because it's pretty quick to write a review, but if someone takes the time to sit down with you or even do it themselves and actually create a video reviewing your business, your product, or your service, that's really, really powerful. And something like that, I mean, a lot of times you put on your reviews section on your website or testimonials. I think something like that, you put it everywhere, in my opinion. Not on every page of your website, but social media, YouTube, your website, because to me, those are some of the most powerful videos to build trust and credibility. And then the how-to educational videos, and that's kind of like the product service demonstration video. It's really about how to use your product. It's really geared more towards product, because I mean, how to use a service. Okay, you can plumber, roofer. You call them and you set up an estimate. You have them do your roof inspection or whatever. And again, you would want these on the appropriate product pages, maybe on a blog, because if you're doing an educational video, and I've used this analogy in the past, like with HVAC contractors. You can have videos on how to program thermostats, because an HVAC contractor can not make money installing and programming a thermostat. You just can't charge enough, But if you have videos on how to do these things, then that shows the potential customer that you care, and you're not trying to rip them off by coming out and charge them a lot of money to install and program a thermostat. And the next time they do need something, they're more likely to remember you and call you. And then you have the promotional and special offer videos, and these are things for specific campaigns. Maybe you have a campaign around a certain holiday or whatever it is, and that kind of video, you're going to highlight that offer, discount, promotion, whatever it is. You want to have strong calls to action in that video. So, because it's a limited time thing, you want them to take action pretty quick. And that's something that social media is good, but email campaigns, we always talk about the email list, featured content on your website. You might want to put that on your homepage, because it is a limited time and you want people to see that right away. And like I said, putting a link to that in an email campaign. So, but there's all kinds of different videos, but I think those are the 5 really important videos that all businesses should have. So, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, those are great ones. The ones I've seen kind of a trend of two types of videos that is growing in, especially when it comes to service-based businesses. And that's, I would put them under kind of 2 buckets. The first bucket is lead generation. So they probably fall under one of the categories you provided, Paul, but it's really about, when you're doing advertising, you might have a video in your ad, right? Videos are very powerful in ads. But then the landing page, in order to raise conversions, it's been proven to have, landing page videos where it might be an introduction, it might be a presentation of an offer, but it really is a way to create authenticity with your audience and to try to move them through that landing page. So that's a really important one, especially if your ad campaigns are struggling a little bit, like you're finding that you're getting tons and tons of traffic to your landing page, but you're not getting a lot of conversions. You might want to try that. The second type, and again, this one is really service-oriented focus. I find like that's where the trend is that a lot of service businesses, so think, accountants, think, professional services is what I'm thinking here. So even, marketing agencies, business coaches, all of those kind of things where you get contacts into a nurture campaign. And you want to nurture those people over time. So the common method to do that is to send out email nurture sequences. You can add in texting sequences now. But one of the big things that we're finding is that those are effective. Don't get me wrong. Email nurture campaigns are very, very effective. The stats show that. But if you want to raise the effectiveness, start including videos within those nurture sequences that reinforce the message that particular email is about. So as an example, if you have, if you have an ebook that's an offer and somebody comes to your landing page, they download the ebook, so they're now in your nurture sequence. You want to reinforce the value that you're bringing through that ebook about that topic. So you might have a topical video about, how to raise the bar even above what's in the ebook and how you and your team can help serve those clients. You might have videos in the nurture sequence between when somebody schedules a discovery call and when you actually have the discovery call. You might have a 3-part nurture sequence in there where you're trying to pre-educate and predispose them to the message that they're going to receive from you in that discovery call. And so all of those kind of sequences, messages, think relationship building, because that's really what all of this is about, no matter what medium it is. But video is very good at relationship building. And I think that's a prime opportunity to leverage video, even in the email nurture sequences. So those are two that I've certainly seen growth in, where a lot of clients they want to take it to the next level. And that's where video starts to get introduced more and more.
All right. Yeah, those are some good ideas. And I have actually seen them lately as well. So, Ian, what are some of the top ways to create and use videos that highlight offers you kind of touched on this, it segues in, but that highlights offers for a small business, and what are some of the best types of offers to use?
Yeah. So if you think, again, always think relationship. We talk a lot on this podcast about the buyer's journey, that a buyer falls through different phases of their journey in order to get to the buy stage. And it looks like this. Sometimes people can jump these phases, but almost rarely do they ever. So they have to know you, to like you, to trust you, to try you, to buy from you, in order to repeat and refer to you. So that's called the marketing hourglass. It's something John Jantsch from Duct Tape Marketing created about 15 years ago now. But it's an excellent framework to understand the buyer's journey and the steps they have to go through for that. And so offers, we've talked about offers before. We've actually done a podcast on offers specifically. And offers are an important part of that buyer's journey, because you want to help people have, what we would call micro decisions. We want them to make yes decisions all along that path, so that, at the no phase, first they have to know you, right? Then they have to like you. And so you need to be presenting basically micro offers throughout that. But then what you're trying to do is present an offer that's big enough that it's a value exchange, such that they feel, okay, I know these guys, I like these guys, I trust these guys. I'm ready to actually give a little bit of my information, like my name and my email address, in order to get something of high value. And so that's where you start to see lead magnets and that kind of stuff. And videos are really important in providing the value, presenting the value to people. And so offers, when you're doing product demonstrations, you want to present an offer to someone. You can offer discounts. You can showcase your products as a bundled offer. I mean, there's lots of different ways to do that. You talked about customer testimonials. One of the interesting things that we've discovered is, first of all, customer testimonials are huge, right? Whether they're in written form on Google, whatever it is. But if you can get a video testimonial, that's like the gold standard of a customer testimonial. The challenge is that it's super, super hard to get those. And so sometimes you have to offer an incentive for somebody to take the time to do a review for you on video. And before I share a little bit about that, there are systems out there that we use and that you can employ as well, that allow you to very carefully craft a system whereby you present you ask the person to provide a video review. You actually do a video asking them, because again, you're trying to create connection. So think a dentist. Somebody comes into your dental practice, they get a request to leave a Google review. They leave a Google review. We look at that as not even a micro yes, that's a pretty big yes. So somebody has stepped forward. They've left us a positive review for this dental clinic. We can then go out to those people and say, hey, we already know they've had a positive experience. Let's ask them in a very easy way, with a very easy system, whether they will leave a customer testimonial for this dentist. And so it sends out an email. It asks them to do this. They click on the link. There's a video of the dentist saying, thank you so much for leaving that great review for us. we would really value, and prospective patients really value, hearing from existing patients what their experience is like. So if you would take 5 minutes, this system will walk you through questions that will ask you what your experience has been like. And what's really cool about these systems is it will ask a question, allow you to record your answer, allow you to re-record your answer if you didn't like it, watch your answer back to you, and then it'll move on. Once you're happy with that, it'll move on to the next question. We don't suggest overloading people with lots of questions, but 3 questions where you're kind of coming at their experience from different angles can be very, very powerful because of the way they respond. Once you have their response, once they've submitted it, obviously from an offer standpoint, to help them, encourage them to do this, you can offer them something. Now, it's against Google policy to incentivize people to leave Google reviews. There are no real rules around leaving video testimonials. Now, you do have to be careful depending on the industry you're in. Sometimes associations have rules about this. So you need to walk this very carefully, especially a lot of the professions. Some of them, like, veterinarians in the particular province I'm located in, have very strict guidelines about this. So you have to be very careful. You have to understand the rules and regulations, and you have to, cross those at your own peril. But these systems make it very, very easy, and the offers you can present to people can help move them through it. So, you might want to offer them a discount. You might want to offer them, if you leave me a video review, you'll get X when you come in the next time, right? So there's just things you can do. We almost always suggest not discounting your products, but bundling them or providing something as a bonus, because this doesn't devalue your services or your products. Some other types of videos, behind the scenes, doing a behind the scenes of your team, how something is done, how it's made. You talked about how-to videos, Paul. But you can offer early access to things. You can offer discounts. Again, I'm not a big discounter. I think it devalues products and services, and you can race your way to the bottom if you do that too much. But you also need to be aware of what discounts your competitors are offering, and you might want to match those. We have some clients that do like a percentage. Will better any discount you find by 10% or something like that. How-to videos. If somebody does a how-to video for you, or even if you're doing the how-to video, you can offer a promo code at the end. That if somebody takes part in it, they get a complimentary product. If they are an early adopter, they will get a special bundle as an early adopter. Think, a lot of the different, the term's not coming to me, but those places where you get like the betas. I've done that before, with cameras and that kind of stuff. Holiday specials, special offers, seasonal offers. There's all types of those that you can do. Maybe you want to do a comparison video where you actually compare products or services, excuse me, with competitors. And then you can offer like a price match guarantee, or offer an added value service as an included thing. So yes, you're providing something for free, but it's basically you're stealing a competitor's client away or prospect. Unboxing videos, super, super powerful still. People still love these. It's amazing how captivating these are, where, somebody's getting a new product that's exciting on the marketplace. And they're showcasing it. They're showcasing their experience of opening it. And so we, as fellow consumers, vicariously live that out, right? We get to see what the experience is like, and does it meet the buzz about that product. Offers related to that, of course, you can have discounts at the end. You can have bundled offers. You can have freebies with purchase. You can have VIP access to certain things, to communities and groups. We see that a lot. But there's certainly a lot of different types of offers. um, we talked about percentage discounts. Again, not huge fan of these if it's going to devalue your product or service, but it's very, very common. Everybody's familiar with these. It doesn't take any training to understand them. Buy one, get one. So BOGO. These are great for clearing out stock or introducing new product. Free shipping. If you have a product, this is a very, very common one, and people appreciate this. Loyalty points. If you have a point system, a reward program, and people perform a certain activity, you can offer to give them more loyalty points. It depending on your program. For some businesses, they essentially are creating their own currency, with this type of program. And so they can be quite generous with how they offer that as a bonus program. First time buyer discounts. We see this a lot in the dental community where, you're trying to get a new patient because dentists are confident that once they get the new patient, they can keep the new patient. And so you see a lot of new patient offers. And some of these are discounts. Some of these are kind of bonus bundles. Some of them you might get a free toothbrush or a cleaning or a whitening. And then referral discounts are really, really, they can be really valuable, where if you can incentivize your happy customers, your community of fans, to encourage word of mouth marketing, to spread the word of how great you are, how great your business or your product or your service is. This is very, very powerful. And of course, there's systems you can have that will track, if customer X refers customer Y, we will give them this bonus or this point system. And again, it's even better if people refer without some sort of discount or incentive. But if it takes that, then, it's still a fantastic way just to, it puts the referral process top of mind with people, because there's something in it for them, not just in it for you or for the person they're thinking of. So those are some types of offers. Again, it's pretty broad. It's pretty, you talked about how every industry is a little bit different. But, they're pretty easy to test, especially digitally now. So I'd encourage, if you're having problems, again, with conversion, so you're getting lots of traffic, you're getting people to, your presentation of your offer, but they're not moving on it. Try out some different offers and see what you can do.
Yeah, that's some great information. And, I agree with you about the not discounting things. The only thing I'd say is when you get close to the holidays like we are now, you may not have a choice because it's expected,
Yeah, well, and it leads really nicely into the question I'm going to ask you about in a second, Paul. But that every marketer worth their salt, marketing consultant, knows that if you build a brand properly, if you build it as a coveted brand that people value, that money becomes almost inconsequential. It never becomes inconsequential. Money's always part of the equation. But think some of the luxury brands out there. Think, how people will pay far more, amount of money, even not even luxury brands, but even things like, Nike or something like that, where a brand has built up their equity such that people value the brand to a higher level and are willing to pay more for it. And those guys don't need to discount as much because they've built up the brand. There's equity in that brand. There's value in the brand. People see it as something that they want, and they're willing to pay for it. And so, for most businesses, if you can solidify your brand, if you can strengthen it, it's only going to help you be more profitable. And essentially, in some ways, you're able to raise your prices above the competition without feeling a deep impact. So question for you, Paul, is provide some key reasons to create and use branding videos for small business, including what are the important elements of a branding video?
Yeah, I talked about this a little bit earlier. They help you distinguish yourself in the marketplace, and especially if you're doing branding videos and your competitors aren't, that automatically puts you way ahead of them. But it increases brand awareness, and these they need to be they're easy to share. They can be put across all kinds of different platforms, and it's they they can be sent via email on your website. This would be a video that goes on the homepage of your website, on your YouTube channel, obviously, Facebook if you're using Facebook, uh, any almost any of the social media platforms where you can post video, and it helps create that connection. We live in this digital world, and people just they don't go to events like they used to anymore ever since COVID hit. So it helps uh, create that connection, because ultimately most people want to deal with other people, and it kind of showcases the personality, if you will, of you and your business, because a lot of times the business owner is the brand, and there's pros and cons to that. One of the cons is if you want to sell that business down the road and you are the brand, that can be a problem, because
Yeah.
at that point people aren't doing business with the brand, they're doing business with you. So it just that's another reason you want to create these brand videos, and the brand personality as opposed to the owner personality. So that's an important point, and it helps clarify your brand message, and it helps clarify what you do. You may be a business that does several different things, and we have a client that they do several different things, but there's certain things that they really only want to do for existing customers. Because they went out and they have a very expensive product, and they install this product, and then it's a fiber cement siding is what it is. So then that customer says, "Hey, can you do this or that?" And they have the capability to do it, and they'll do it because it's an existing customer. And a video that helps clarify what your main product or service or offering is, can help clarify things like that. They can increase engagement. People are more likely to watch a video than read a blog post. That's just the world we live in. So it helps increase engagement and retention, because they they're more likely to remember visual content as well. That's like the old cliche: "A picture's worth 1,000 words," because people remember visual. We are wired to remember visual things, and videos are. It's easy for people to remember video content. And again, like I said earlier, they build trust and credibility, and it has some SEO benefits. You take a video and put it on your website, and then you transcribe that. You've just created a bunch of content, and the search engines will rank that. And going back to the engagement and retention, that's going to help increase your conversion rates, and all of these things together. They give you a competitive advantage, especially if your competitors aren't doing any of these things. And
And are there some other elements? Actually, before you move on to the elements, Paul, one of the things that I was thinking of, when you were bringing up some of the elements, or talking about types of branding videos, where it creates a connection. We've seen a big growth on the branding videos for hiring or employment, where especially during COVID and now after COVID, um, industries where it suddenly became really, really hard to find good employees knew they had to raise the bar. And one of the things that was super powerful in that was creating a brand image for your business, related to working at your business, what the ethos is, what you guys are all about, the mission, the vision of the business, what it, looks like to be in the business. And even, this bridges, marketing for employees to attract employees is similar in marketing for customers, except it's a different target audience, right? So, having testimonial videos from your current employees about what their experience has been like included in that are really, really powerful. The other thing that occurred to me while you were talking about those types of videos was that brand videos can be very powerful in attracting fans, like attracting the right type of ideal customer to you. And equally, they can repel the wrong type of customer. So, if you're positioning your brand to be a luxury brand versus a discount brand, you're going to present it in such a way that people that want a luxury brand, that want something that's highly coveted, that's a level above the competition, they are going to be attracted to that type of brand, that type of video. Whereas the people that are looking for the cheapest, the discounted, they're going to see your video and they're going to be like, that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for cheap and cheerful, and I'll keep looking. And that's okay. You don't want to attract people that aren't a good fit for your business or your brand.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like the whole idea of, it's not a bad thing if someone unsubscribes from your email list. It's better they do that than mark it as spam.
Yeah.
So it's the same kind of thing. You don't want to attract the wrong customers, but the elements of a branding video is, and before, we've talked about this in the past, but before you do any of this, you really need to develop your customer personas. You have to know who your target audience is. So you need a clear message and a narrative that resonates with your audience. That's why you need to know who your target audience is and what they're looking for. And on a branding video, that might be the time where you want to spend some money on a high quality professional video. You don't always have to do that. Like a lot of time with the how to use videos, things like that, probably not as important. But when you're building your brand, then you probably do want to spend some money on a high quality video, and always have a call to action. You want to tell viewers what to do, even if it's just go to our website. Maybe they're already on your website, but if it's on YouTube, you want to have a call to action on there. Get them back on your website, because Google wants to keep people on Google, and Google owns YouTube. So you're going to have these a call to action on your videos. And brand consistency, make sure that, if you're using your logos, anything associated with your brand, and make sure that everything aligns, the look, the feel, the colors. A lot of times you see people that they'll do a video but it doesn't align with their brand. And that's just, that can create confusion and doubt in people's minds. And authenticity is another element. And this goes back to the testimonials. If you can get someone to do a video review, video testimonial, that's really, really powerful. And that helps build your brand, and it helps, again, build trust, authenticity. And so use those things, and visuals. And again, you don't have to don't try to cram all of these into one video. That may not be a good idea, but visuals, graphics, animations, things that grab people's attention. That's always a problem, because people are bombarded with so much stuff these days. And that's why, going back to brand consistency, a lot of brands, every video they do, they have an intro and an outro on every video, and it's the exact same thing. And then the actual video is between those two things. So, and it again, it has to be relevant to the target audience, your target market, and that goes back to the knowing who your ideal client is, and keep it short and concise, because people have short attention spans, and and unless they're sitting down to watch a movie, people don't want to watch long videos. They just don't do it. And then background music, be consistent. If you're going to use background music, be consistent. One thing I would say, that because this really annoys me, is when the background music is so loud you can't hear what the person's saying. So be aware of that. You see that all the time, and it just, very few things will make me click away from that video faster than that, because what's the point? The background music. It's called background music for a reason. It's supposed to be in the background.
And just on that point, Paul, like, studies have shown that videos can actually have poor quality visuals, but require higher quality audio to not have a negative impact on people. So what I mean by that is,
the audio is extremely important.
Yeah. And when you're drowned out by background music, you're making it hard for people to listen to you, right? So yeah.
Exactly. And accessibility, don't forget about accessibility, subtitles, and it's usually a good idea, if whatever platform you're using allows you to do it, allow people to turn the subtitles on and off and make it easy for them to find that. Some people want some subtitles, some people don't. And then encourage people to leave comments and feedback. That's always important. And it's like reviews. We tell business owners, I'm sure you do too, you really need to respond to reviews. People take time to leave a review, and you really should respond to it, because Google watches that, and they're aware of it. So again, encourage people to leave feedback, and and respond to it, because if they say, hey, your background, we were just talking about that, your background music was drowning you out, well, okay, now don't do that. So I think those are some of the elements and things to think about, but focus on these, and don't, the other thing I would say is, don't get so focused, and I'm sure you have clients like this too, we do, don't get so focused on perfection that you don't do anything.
Yeah. The key, the antithesis to that, or something to keep in mind for people, is that it doesn't have to be perfect, of course, but also you want to make sure that you're presenting your brand in the best light, because if you present your brand in a crappy way, like what you were talking about, Paul, with the background music overwhelming what the person is talking about, if somebody perceives that you, with something you put on the internet, on YouTube, wherever you're putting it, that you didn't take time to actually make it good quality. And good quality doesn't mean perfection. Good quality doesn't mean high production value, but it also means you need to present your brand in the most professional light possible. And that doesn't mean you can't do authentic videos, meaning like you walking through your office or something on your phone, talking to about a particular topic. You just have to take it in the context of what you're presenting. And if it's, what you were talking about there, Paul, with a branding, like an overview video, or this is who we are kind of video, you want to make sure that it's polished enough that people don't retract or diminish their view of your business or your product or your service, because you just didn't take a little bit extra time to clean up the audio, or to make sure that the background music didn't overwhelm the listener, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And having, a lot of times, these branding videos, you spending a little bit of money, having a couple of them professionally done, I think it is a good idea. That doesn't mean that every video you do has to be like that, but you may want to have one or two, especially, you know, if you have a high-end clientele, you probably want to have a couple of professionally done videos. You know, it's probably a good idea to do that. So, Ian, what are some ways to create and use videos that highlight the authority of a small business, and what elements would be included to demonstrate that authority?
Sure. Yeah. I think just like, when you're building a website, you want to make sure you have authority elements. And what we mean by those is the things that support you or your business as an expert in your field. And so, common things that we would use on a web page are, maybe you're a member of your board of trade. Maybe you've won some awards. Maybe you are, a professor laureate at a university on your topic, in your industry. Whatever it is, like, you want to present those. And so video also offers an opportunity where you can reinforce those. And those might be, on your intros or your extros or your outros. But you want to make sure you're doing that consistently so that, when people see you or when people see your brand, they are combining that with the level of expertise that you want them to see. So again, things that can be very powerful, like types of videos that can be really powerful to help support you or your business and as an expert and authority in your industry, are expert interviews. There's this thing called basically shared authority, where, if Einstein was still alive and I had Einstein on my podcast or on my, a video with him where I'm interviewing him, there's this shared authority that just because I'm asking him questions, that it's putting me on an an even keel with this person I'm interviewing. So, and the fact that highly regarded person would agree to an interview with me and agree to me sharing that interview with my broader audience shows that they perceive value in who I am. So that shared expert authority can be really, really valuable. Of course, you being interviewed on other people's channels, podcasts, videos can be really powerful as well, right? Because for the exact same reason. Sharing case studies. So actually walking people through how the business successfully met the challenges that a business or someone had run up against, whether it's a personal service, like, they had a broken tooth and you solve their problem by fixing their broken tooth, and you show before and after videos of that, and their happy testimonial, right? Or whether it's a B2B environment where, you were able to solve a problem for another business that they weren't able to solve themselves, and how you did that, and then what the end result to that business was, the effect of your solution, can be really, really powerful. Webinars is a fantastic opportunity for you to host educational sessions on your niche topics that resonate with your audience. So the more you can niche down or niche down, the better, right? Because people are searching for help on particular topics. And if you're doing a webinar on that topic and then sharing it broadly, it can help enormously to present you as an authority in that space, because somebody, first of all, found you on looking for that topic. They've watched you explaining and providing solutions to that particular topic. And if you're good at what you do, that will come across in the webinar. Tutorials and how-to videos. These are fantastic. We've done these sometimes where, Google or one of the other platforms, Facebook, has decided that they're going to radically change their interface. How often does that happen, guys? Like daily, it seems.
Hey,
and sometimes
never doing one click what you can do in 15. Okay, that's seems to be a trend lately. I don't know if you noticed it, but a lot of the,
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of the software platforms we use, I guess they had too much time on their hands over COVID and they went and redesigned everything. And what you used to do in 1 or 2 clicks, it now takes like 5 clicks to do the same thing. It's like, who came up with this idea?
Yeah, like just as kind of a funny anecdote, I used to use CorelDRAW back in the day. So
Oh
there was
God,
kind of,
you're dating
yeah,
yourself.
it's still around, but like there were basically two options. You either used Adobe Illustrator or CorelDRAW, or use both. And so this is a long time ago now, but I remember CorelDRAW decided to radically update their user interface, and I had been using it for years. All I wanted to do, this is back in the day when it was hard to do some of these things. Like you either had to manually create a drop shadow, or they introduced this drop shadow function a few versions ago. And then they brought out this new interface. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking under every single context sensitive menu. I'm reading through help documents. I cannot find this thing. And then I remember my wife comes up over my shoulder and she knows the frustration I'm having. And she goes, "Oh, is it there?" And they had created like this little button hidden amongst a whole bunch of other buttons that was non-descriptive. And sure enough, that was it. So the point here isn't about the frustration of some of these guys, these tools where they, seemingly redesign the interfaces of things thoughtlessly, against us. We're not enemies of them, but this gives you an opportunity as a business to offer helpful videos to people in order to help them find what they're looking for. They can be super short, right? It doesn't have to be super complex. I mean, one of the things we've seen a huge burst of is Google has pushed everybody from Google Analytics, Universal Analytics, into Google Analytics 4. And it's like a dog's breakfast when you're trying to find reports now of what you used to be able to find within one, or you talked about, 15 clicks, Paul. You used to be able to find this report within 2 clicks. Now it's like you're searching through the jungle trying to find this crazy report. And so lots of people in the industry have created how-to videos to help people find the reports that they were used to finding. It's an opportunity. So look for opportunities to help people and create these helpful videos. You talked about, thermostats. That's a great example of that, right? It's not a high value service. You're not going to grow your business as an HVAC company by going out and installing just a thermostat usually. And so this offers the opportunity to help people without actually going through the hard work of going out to their location. Product demonstrations, behind the scenes, industry news and updates. Obviously, again, customer testimonials is kind of this thread, this stream that flows through this conversation. But if other people, the only thing better than you talking about how great your business is to have other people talk about how great your business is and how you're an authority in the space. If you're in a highly technical industry, might be a B2B industry, research and white papers, doing a video on those, walking people through it can really help create greater exposure and position you as an expert. Panel discussions or videos of live events. If you're a keynote speaker or on a panel at an event, an industry event, man, get the video of that. Super powerful. Again, people are looking for that kind of information. And then videos of awards and recognition. If you win an award, if it's live at the event where you receive the award, fantastic. If it's just you in your office with the award, even if it's just a video, that could be done up on Canva or something, where it's introducing people to your award recognition, really powerful. Another thing too is just, going through and sharing the history or the evolution of your business can be really powerful too, right? We've all heard the stories of how people want to have really good stories about how they founded a business, and that's valuable. But we've also heard the stories of people that have created fake stories of their founding. And so you don't want to do that. But if you have a legitimate story that will resonate with people about the founding of your business, and then the history and the evolution of it, that can be really powerful. I was just traveling to Seattle, and I went to an aerospace museum, and it was on Boeing's property. So there's a lot about Boeing there, obviously. But even just learning, if you have an interest in a particular area, a particular topic, and somebody shares their journey with you, it can be really fascinating to a lot of people about, where you started, how you got to where you are today. Maybe they're embarking on a similar journey and they want to understand how people have done it. But those can be super powerful types of videos where you're presenting your authority or building your authority. Any other thoughts on that, Paul?
No, I think that's a pretty good ideas, pretty good explanation. We're coming up on an hour here. Do you want to go through the next two questions really quick, or?
You know what I'd like to talk about, if you're willing, Paul, is just maybe talk about, we can kind of go back and forth a little bit in just talking about like what tools or the methods that people can use in order to create videos. Obviously, hiring a professional videographer gets the job done, right? You're outsourcing it. They've got the expertise, they've got the equipment, they're responsible for the finished product. But there's also a host of DIY tools out there now, and they're growing and evolving. And so I thought that might be helpful for people. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously you've got your phone.
Yeah.
And look, the cameras and video capabilities of phones they are just really good, these days. And so, yeah, you're going to have a script and maybe get a tripod microphone, and do the video. But you can do a lot of your videos with your phone. Like we talked about, you might want to have a couple professionally done branding videos, but a lot of the other videos you can do with your phone. A lot of, Apple and Microsoft, both operating systems, they come with built-in video editing software. So that might be all you need. There's other free ones out there. And there's some that don't cost a lot of money, a quick search, and you can find, I mean, if you have some specific ones that you'd recommend, throw them out there, but you
Sure.
might be able to do everything you need to do with the software that comes with your operating system, whether that's Windows or Apple.
Yeah, and every laptop comes with a video cam, right? So or a camera, so that you're able to do kind of a sit down, just a few tips I think I'd like to share, and then a couple tools. Always think about what the end product you want is before filming. So what I mean by this is, if you're planning to present something, and it's going to be on YouTube or in a horizontal, standard television cinema format, hold your phone horizontally, landscape wise. Do not hold it portrait wise, or it's going to cause issues, right? We've all seen the videos where it's just a sliver of the whole screen. So think about what the end result is.
Yeah, and the reason for that is because all monitors these days are landscape.
Yeah.
And that's just the world we live in. And so, yeah, that's something we tell people all the time. And even if you're taking pictures for your website, same thing.
Yeah.
Because monitors, and we have clients do that all the time. They send us these portrait pictures. It's like, yeah, that's not going to work as a banner image across the top of your website.
Yeah. Yeah. Just some other tips, like invest in some lighting. Lighting can make a big difference. Or, film yourself in the golden hour, they call it, which is usually when the sun is rising, or just after the sun has risen, or just after the sun is going to start to go down, right? There's just this, they call it the golden hour, and it just gives really great soft lighting. You know, make sure that you have a good microphone. So even if you're doing it on your phone, invest in a lapel mic or something like that that brings the microphone really close to your voice, because that can make all of the difference in the world. You don't sound like you're in a tin can, which
Yeah,
a lot
because
of videos do.
because if you're doing some kind of introductory video or whatever, and you have the phone on a tripod, and you're 7-8 feet away, guess where
Yeah.
that microphone is? It's
And I see that all the time.
yeah, yeah, I do too. And one of your points about lighting, didn't really mean to jump in there, but
That's fine.
you don't have to spend a lot of money. A quick Google search, and you could probably put together a pretty good lighting kit for 50-60 bucks.
Yep. Yeah. And think about your background, right? Like, depending on what you're presenting, just think about your background. It again, that part is almost always free unless you need to invest in some sort of backdrop or a green screen or something. But for most people, start where you are today. Focus on lighting, audio quality, and just choosing a background that makes sense or isn't cluttered. Um, and that goes a long way to just presenting yourself in the best possible way. One of the tools I wanted to mention to people, we have a lot of sophisticated tools at our disposal. We invest in them. But one of the ones that I'm amazed at that is so accessible is Canva. Like, Canva continues to grow its capabilities. Yes, you should probably invest in a paid version of it. But you can try it out for free. You can use it for free. And then if you want to try out some of the more robust features, pay for a subscription. It's not expensive, especially from a business standpoint. But it now has video editing capabilities within it. They are not great. So if you're familiar with video editing, do not take away from this that I'm suggesting it is a robust video editing software. It's not. But it is extremely accessible. It does allow you to, to trim clips, to do audio overlays, to add music, to add transitions between clips. So it's a really easy tool. And the video's been out for probably, I want to say, over a year now. And just recently, they've kind of bumped it up again from a capability standpoint. So I see that moving in a really great direction for, businesses that don't necessarily want to, they don't want to become videographers, right? But they do want to be able to present their business in the best light possible. And that can be a great tool to kind of take you from, from zero to a starting position. Excuse me.
Yeah, and there's also the option, you may have to find someone that's willing to do this, but there are people that they'll take your video and they will edit it and polish it. And that might be an option. You do a video and then you pay somebody a few dollars to clean it up, and then all you have to do is the video. You don't have to worry about any post editing or anything like that.
Yeah, like on platforms like Fiverr or Upwork, where you can basically find somebody that can do the work, present them with an offer, or unless they have a preset pricing structure, and then just get them to do it virtually. You'll probably save a lot of money.
Yep.
And then any other thoughts, Paul?
I guess if you do want to delve into that, or you have someone on your office staff, a not too expensive option that has a lot of capabilities is Camtasia. And there's no free version out there. You do pay for it. So it is something that if you're going to go that route, then you're basically making a commitment that you're going to do this editing yourself. But it's,
Yeah.
again, that's one of those things that you have to learn the software. So it might be a better option, like we just said, to do the video and then get someone on Upwork or Fiverr and just have them do the editing for you.
Yeah. One of our favorite tools on our side is Descript. It's called Descript,
Yep.
Descript. And it basically allows you to, first of all, it transcribes your video automatically, but then it allows you to edit your video by looking at the text. And for those that aren't video editors by trade, this can offer a very, like, much more accessible way of, oh, where was that point that I said that I don't want to say anymore? And you can basically, highlight the copy, press delete, and it's gone from the actual video as well. And it's got some pretty cool stuff related to your AI and your voice. And if you allow it to learn your voice, and you, I just said, and I want to mention that as well, but you can basically fill in words that you didn't say in Descript, and it will actually overlay those words into the video, which is, extremely helpful if you have, minor edits to make. The other one, when I was mentioning my filler word, was that it can automatically strip out all the filler words from your whole video in one, click of a button, which is really powerful because, filler words do not really set us apart as really good speakers. So, that's just a really helpful part of the tool.
All right. Well, we're just over an hour here. I mean, unless you have something else to add, I think this is probably a good place to wrap up.
No, I think we've done this topic justice. The main point here is invest in video. It's really powerful.
Yeah, it is. It has gotten a little bit easier because a lot of these videos you can just do on your phone. But yeah, definitely do video because it is powerful content, and it is the content that people want to consume and engage with.
Yeah.
So you want to take us out?
Sure. Well, this is a good place to wrap up. Thanks, Paul, for your thoughts on this good, important topic. And for our audience, if you found value in this, please comment. Please let us know. And if there's a topic that would be helpful for you to hear from us about, drop us a line. We'd love to hear it. We'd love to do a topic that will impact you. And please share the link with other businesses that would benefit from it. And without further ado, keep calm and mark it on, folks.